My name is Socorro Ramos-Avilés. I'm from Puerto Rico. I've been an organizer for the past 32 years, uh, jumping back from community organizing to labor organizing and back to community. I say I was born like this. I don't know what else to do with my professional life. I've been an organizer forever before I knew that it was a paid job. So, yeah, this is what I lived for. Oh, yeah. 1997, 98. I was still in grad school, and something was happening in my country. And I always say that I used to live in a bubble because, well, things were happening, but since it wasn't hitting me or my family, I didn't care. And during that year, there was a fight in one of our communities. Um, I don't know if you guys know about Vieques. It's one of the island towns that we have. And it was occupied by the Navy since 1935. And people got displaced. They got in, they do what they usually do, and they divided the island in three chunks. Two corners where the people lived, and then they stayed in the middle. They depleted the island of their water resources, of their farmland, and they were the owners of basically the island. So in 1998, this happened on April 19 of 1998, in the naval base, they threw a bomb and it killed a resident of Vieques who was a guard there. So that opened the door for people like, this has to stop. After almost 60 years of bombardments, people were fed up. At the time, I was in grad school, but I was also working with SEIU. And they had a program in Puerto Rico about engaging community with workers, something that I didn't know they had to create because workers are part of the community, right? So I worked that project, and then when that happened in Vieques, they sent me to Vieques. They told me, go and see what you can do. I was like, to do what? So I got to Vieques, and los desalojos were in, I think it was in April. Yeah, in April. I got in June of that year. There were a lot of camps around the beaches from people of the community. They decided that no more bombardments. So they stayed in the community. They set up tents, and I went in with the union, and I was like, okay, who do I relate to? How do I get information? What do people need, right? The questions that come up to you. So I went to the women's group. They have an outstanding group of women there. Most of them have died after because of different issues, but they are still there. It's called the Alianza of Mujeres Viequenses. And through the women group, it opened my eyes to organizing. It was, I always say, thanks to them, I am what I am today. So I learned with them how to understand what was happening. I shared, or they shared, their stories, their history. Why were they fighting? Because one of the things that I brought in my ignorance is like, how a small community like this is going to fight against the biggest military in the world. And people were like so full of grace, so full of seeing a better future. that they didn't care about that. They didn't see it like that. They saw that they were more powerful than anything. So immediately I got engaged with them. Basically, the union moved me to live there, and I lived there for 6 years. We were organizing the women's group, the elderly people, and civil disobedience. The amazing part of it was how they brought this together, right? How is community that you think it's like a given because workers form the communities, how can we work particular things? So I always say, I thank SEIU with all my heart because they gave me that opportunity, right? Um, the women and the community in Vieques opened their arms to me, and I worked with them with the Puerto Rico Bar Association because we were entering federal land. When people got caught, the Bar Association, the lawyers helped in all the process, right? So almost 16,000 people did civil disobedience and got incarcerated by reclaiming their land, right? So that wasn't fair. So that was my first like environmental community fight. I didn't have a clue of the struggles of the industry. I thought that having industry was a good thing until I began to understand that it's the contrary, right? Industry isn't good for no one except for the people who own the companies. We have to join, we have to be part of the struggles. No one is going to come and save us, right? If people don't decide that they have to do what they have to do, nothing will happen. It's been hard because the community, again, has been so mistreated for so many years. So the matter of trust is a big thing. I've been able to meet wonderful organizers, people that don't know that they are organizers. Like in Ingleside on the Bay, there are a lot of people that are fighting against contamination, against how come these industries that are so powerful and have so much money don't even have the ability to share that wealth with people, right? It's supposed to be like that. I think when you have that bug inside of you that keeps on moping in your head, like something wrong is happening, I can't sit down and let it happen, right? When you have that little spark of curiosity, when you have that little spark that what I have has to be able for others to have as well, because it's a darn given right? Just follow your gut. Just open your mind to understand that all of us are different. All of us, we don't have to agree in order to be part of something. We just have to find this little thing that brings us together. Usually it's something always bad, right? I want to organize before I retire something that's good for us, not something bad, and stick to it. Learn a lot. Always be open to learn. Organizing isn't a book that you carry, isn't a degree that you can have. I have a master's degree and I've never used it. So it's not something that you carry around in a book. It's practice, right? It's being outside. It's talking to people. It's listening to people. It's like opening your heart and your mind to everything. Some things you will like, some things you won't, but you have the capacity to discern. People who live here don't benefit at all from industry. No one wants to live in a place where at 3 in the morning it sounds like an earthquake, and they open the door and they see this big ball of fire. And when they wake up in the morning and they want to take their coffee at the porch, they can't have it because they can't breathe, right? So as in the same way that I understood what industry was really about, I want people to understand as well. It's no benefit for our communities to have these big name industries, to say that we are the biggest exporters of LNG, and none of that LNG stays here in the States. It goes to Europe and to Asia and Africa, right? So who benefits from this? When they talk about economic development, like the governor of Texas talks, who benefits from it? Just take 10 minutes, sit down and meditate. Who is benefiting from all of this? Who is suffering from all of this, right? It's our children that can't go to school because they have breathing problems. It's our elderly population that are dying of stuff that they didn't know they had. Sudden heart diseases. Younger people, we had one of our leaders in Gregory that died earlier this year of cancer, and it was a matter of 6 months. They diagnosed her, and in 6 months she died. Healthy, she was working, she was everything, and from a sudden, right? There hasn't been a health study done in the area. I think it's something that needs to happen. Organizations have to pull in and request a health study. We talk about, the industry talks about all these statistics that, we do the emissions according to the EPA, the water is okay, the air is okay, the land, you can do whatever you want with it. No, something is happening and we have to figure it out together, right? So for the people, when they see industry and they think that they are powerless because industry is the biggest thing, you are not powerless. When people get together, when people find the way to stick together, the fight can happen. I've seen bigger fights against bigger things than industry, and things have happened for our communities back home, right? It is possible, but we have to engage. We have to know that it takes time, but it can happen. It can happen with the help of all the people that is involved.